from the side of the speaker. So I don't even understand what they are talking about. But in my own case, I made specific allegation. I said you took 40 billion and directed the distribution to just few out of the massive number of members of the National Assembly. I said you tried to force 30 billion on me to be introduced into the budget. I said you tried to force 20 billion into the service-wide vote. I said you put in over 20 billion in between the four of you of wasteful projects in the budget. I said you tried to scam the House, introducing a mortgage system that would be deducting 1.5 million monthly from the running cost, not the salary of members, from the running cost, money meant to run the offices of members. You want to be taking 1.5 million in it to go and fund it. You said you want to build houses for members. So I made specific allegations. Then the other 8 members that I'm taking to the anti-graft agencies, all of them I stated it. And they're all different kind of offenses that if they are dealt with, it will resolve the general problem of the...
Are you still bringing more allegations? Are you making more revelations on Jubrin?
I have said it that I will continue to bring more allegations. I brought in more allegations yesterday. Today I'm giving more, and I will continue to give more allegations.
There's several names that you have brought up, and a lot of people will say it's just a vendetta. Different names that you have brought up.
They have gone all places, all over the world, looking for something that they can use to nail me. None. I have called them corrupt people because I can stand it. I said, Speaker Dogara, you are corrupt. You're a fraud in high place. I said that.
So you want him to be removed?
I've told you that I'm depressed, I'm in shock. That despite all the allegations that are out, until now, Nigerians have not come out. Prominent Nigerians have not come out to say, young man, we cannot continue to have you there as number 4 citizen of this country.
Are you not afraid that in pulling these people down, you might go down yourself?
I'm not pulling anybody down. I'm just doing the right thing. And if that is going to take away my life, let me, well.
You also bargain your way to being the chairman of the appropriation committee, isn't it?
Well, I don't understand what you mean.
During the politicking for the leadership of the House, you also had a bargain.
Had a bargain? You are saying it.
I'm asking you. Oh, no. I mean, that's the word on the street, that you had a bargain to becoming the chairman of the appropriation committee.
I don't know anything about the bargain. What I did was that I tried to look at and take the best decision, I think, in the interest of the country. And
Honorable Abdul Mumin Jubrin, the former chairman House Committee on Appropriation. In the meantime, a member of the House of Representatives has denied the allegations made by Mr. Jubrin against the leadership of the lower chamber. Honorable Uzoma Abonta described the allegations as false and a plot by Mr. Jubrin to tarnish the image of the lawmakers. He spoke to our political correspondent, Seun Okimbaloye, during Sunday Politics.
I vehemently will disagree that House of Representatives or National Assembly is corrupt. And that is not to say that we have complete 100% perfection, no, but it's wrong and absolutely wrong to say that the House of Reps or National Assembly indeed is corrupt. However, one may say that you may notice 1 or 2 institutional lapses in the system, but you cannot call that corruption. It will be wrong for you to say National Assembly's corruption as alleged or accused by Jubrin, who superintended, who managed, who participated, who in fact saw the committee. In fact, if I may ask, at what point did he notice the corruption? At what point did he decide to talk? Is it when he was asked to to leave the seat that he's now coming? Don't you think that is an afterthought? Good thing, he acknowledged and agreed that National Assembly had right to insert, had right to add, and he refused the word pardon. How come now he's saying the insertions were so much? What is his quarrel? Is it that the insertions that were made were corruptly made or are not supposed to have been there? If himself alone could decide to put 4 billion naira alone himself, deciding what he deemed good for the people or what could generate, what makes him think that the rest people could not also add if it is their right to add?
Ahead of September the 10th governorship elections in Edo State, Anambra State Governor Mr. Willie Obiano has shared the success story of his leadership journey on the platform of the All Progressives Grand Alliance with residents of Benin City, the state capital. The governor did this during the official handover of the party's flag to APGA's candidate in the governorship race, Mr. Osaro Onaiwu. The Edo State governorship candidate, Osaro Onaiwu, receiving his guest, the governor of Anambra State, Willie Obiano, and other delegates of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA. From here, the party leadership moves to the royal court of the Edaike Nselu Ehenede Eridiawa to pay homage to him. The governor, Obiano, explains to him that their mission is not to criticize the ruling party, but that they are here to tell him about the objectives of the party.
We need emphasis in 4 pillars: in agriculture, which is going to transform when it comes in trade and commerce, industrialization, and of course the oil and gas activities around here.
As for the governorship candidate, he assures the traditional institution of his unflinching loyalty to residents of Edo if given the chance to lead.
Supposed to earn a lot of money from trade and commerce, but because leadership has been the problem. They have vision but no action. I'm coming home with vision, with action.
The Daike Nselu, in his response, commends Governor Obiano for his good works in Anambra State, but also tells his guests the position of the Benin Kingdom.
Your accomplishments in your state, and we think it is commendable. I always want to remind everybody that the crown in Benin is non-partisan.
With a stopover at the residence of former governor of Old Bendel State, General Samuel Ogbomudia, the campaign train storms the King's Square, where hundreds of APGA supporters received them, flying high the party's flag. Both past and present leadership of the party addressed the audience, canvassing for votes.
APGA is the 3rd largest party in Nigeria. In Nigeria today, the youngest commissioner is from Anambra State. So when APGA wins here, the commissioners will be between the ages of 35 down, so that they will be active and will be able to work.
The climax of the event is the handover of the party's flag to the governorship candidate. It's less than 5 weeks to the elections, and the campaigns are heating up. What's left is for the umpire to do its job of ensuring a level playing ground for all the candidates involved. The Nigerian Immigration Service says it is taking steps to confront some of the challenges it faces in managing the nation's marine security. Speaking at a workshop on migration development policy organized by the European Union, migration collaborators in Lagos State, the Assistant Controller General in charge of Marine, John Ubari, explains that the exercise is expected to enhance smooth operations of the service.
It's the last day of an advanced migration workshop for senior maritime officers and trainers in the Nigerian Immigration Service by these European Union migration experts.
When a vessel arrives like the one that is over there,
they're winding down the training in one of the terminals in Apapa Port Complex to have a feel of how a migration documentation assessment is carried out in Nigeria's maritime domain.
Within the framework of this specific information session, we deployed European member state experts who worked together with their Nigerian counterparts on this area and who shared expertise and good practices from the European Union, and who got to exchange on those thematic with the Nigerian counterparts.
We are thinking professionalism in immigration, while we equally expand our thinking as to the services we render. So we foresee one day somebody will set out to major in marine services. And one good way of doing that is to talk to us or get us addressed at the training institutions. Because from the basic training, you could choose to specialize in this.
For Nigeria, however, what lessons are to be learned in confronting present challenges in maritime migration?
Ultimately, we are looking at world best practices And they've shown us the own side of it all. And we equally communicate, shared with them our own experience. It's been a balanced game, I would say. But here we are now. It's for them to see practically what we've been talking about.
This is the first leg of a new curriculum in migration policy development. Its implementation is expected to usher in a strict and more effective way of monitoring across the nation's maritime corridor.
The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board has announced the withdrawal of the 2016 admission lists earlier sent to all tertiary institutions across the country. In a statement signed by the board's public relations officer, Dr. Fabian Benjamin, institutions are now to make their own lists to JAM in line with the federal government's guideline on admissions. Mr. Benjamin called on candidates and their guardians not to panic, explaining that this is part of the process of the 2016 admission exercise. He adds that JAM regrets any inconveniences this has caused to tertiary institutions. And still ahead on the news at 10, our community report tonight takes a look at the present state of the Ipata abattoir in Kwara State's capital, 50 years after it was built. Join us again.